everyone, it's Jenny here, and this is a little impromptu video for me. I realized I had a little slot here where nobody booked a class for me, so I'm not waiting for a kid to arrive. I'm just waiting for this 25-minute time to pass, so I thought I'd throw in a video. It's only been 2 days since I was last here, but the opportunity arose, so here we go. So I've had two weigh-ins since I last spoke to you, and the first one was a gain of zero point 0.3. I wasn't too concerned about that because the day before it said it was a loss of 2.3. And I had those extra carbs. If you watch the video, you'll see I ended up at a friend's house and she served me a scone and a muffin and strawberries with Cool Whip on a small plate. I mean, none of them were huge. They were all small little portions on a small little plate, but nevertheless, that is not appropriate on the diet. And the good news is I was struggling with, I mean, I had been having carbs all the days prior because I really struggled with the headaches. It was the only thing that was getting rid of them. No matter if I took ibuprofen, acetaminophen, nothing got rid of the headaches, nothing. And it was just debilitating. I mean, they weren't migraine debilitating, but they were just like, I just want to close my eyes and lay my head on a pillow all day, whether I'm sleeping or not, because I just felt like doing nothing, that kind of debilitating. And I have a job to do. So I caved, and one for my comfort and two for my sanity and three so that I could work. I had some carbs on all those first 3 days that I was on the diet. Not recommended. That's not how you lose a lot of weight on this diet. What is recommended is that you eat less sugar when you're loading than I did. I did it the wrong way. However, I thought this morning, actually, when I got up and I was thinking about the fact of, oh, I could have lost a whole lot more if I wouldn't have done that. The other side of me thinks, I don't have all that temptation to eat all that stuff that I normally want to do when I start a diet. I just always feel so deprived and so restricted, and I don't feel that. I'm very happy right now. I feel like, I kind of had my hoorah over the weekend, ate everything that I loved, and it's done. I'm good for the next month. So it wasn't ideal. It's not the way you lose the most weight, but I think for my own personal sanity and mental health and ability to stay on the diet and be willing to do the diet and the sacrifice that it is, it worked for me. So, not recommending this again. Just this is my personal journey. It's not the perfect journey by any means. Anywhere on this channel are you going to find the perfect anything, but this is how I'm going about doing it, and this is how I lose weight. Okay, so I gained 0.3 the next day, and I had 2 meals that day. I had no carbs at all, so I thought that I would have 2 separate meals at 2 different parts of the day. I think I ended up eating a lot more food that way. I mean, I know I did. So I had like a taco salad. I had made some ground taco out of turkey, ground turkey. I made a bunch of turkey taco meat. And so I put that on top of lettuce and had like a taco salad. But I also had a small amount of my chicken dip with carrots. And I know carrots have sugar in it, but I'm all out of celery. So, in this day and age, we are trying not to go to the grocery store that often, only every couple. So it's kind of hard to be we're not sequestered anymore and we're not quarantined anymore, but it's strongly suggested. And, just for everyone's health and safety, it's best that you interact with lots of strangers and different people that are touching many things as little as possible. So, I ate the carrots with that. And then I had a 0.3 gain. Now today I got on the scale and it said I lost 2.8. So it's back down again. So the 0.3, as I suspected, really wasn't too much of a concern. I lost 2.8. I only had the taco salad yesterday. I also had a bowel movement. So that helped overall with the weight. So 2.8. I mean, before this morning's weigh-in, I was kind of back at 0 in terms of what I gained in load and what I lost in the load. So really today is the first day of true weight loss for me, and I am down 2.8 pounds. So I'll take that, and I feel like I'm going to keep running with it. We'll see. I mean, that's my intent, right? To do this the right way. So I wanted to give a topic today, even though I'm not terribly prepared, but I went back to the beginning of the protocol. I know there's some stuff at the end I didn't cover, but as I'm looking it over, it all has to do with like maintenance and going back to P3 and all that kind of stuff, and it's just not applicable if you're following along this journey with me until later on in this weight loss thing. So this is a section that I don't believe I covered before. I mean, I kind of did briefly, but I'm just going to read through it because I started just reading the protocol so that y'all have exactly what the protocol says. So I referred to this in the past, but I'm just going to read it straight from the protocol so that you hear exactly what Dr. Simeon says about this topic of the significance of regular meals. All right. I find this very interesting. I think you will too. Okay, this is what it says. In the early Neolithic times, another change took place which may well account for the fact that today nearly all inherited dispositions, sooner or later, develop into manifest obesity. This change was the institution of regular meals. All right, so he is slamming us having these regular meals all day long, breakfast, lunch, dinner, which we have been trained all through the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. You have to have 3 meals a day, right? Okay. In the pre-Neolithic times, man ate only when he was hungry, and only as much as he required to still the pangs of hunger. Moreover, much of his food, I again, the protocol is, the translation didn't always do well. It says, moreover, much of his food, food. We're just going to get rid of the food. Moreover, much of his food was raw, and all of it was unrefined. Lie roasted his meat. I don't know what that means, but basically, he cooked his meat, but he did not boil it. He had no pots. And what little Okay, I'm going to read this exactly as it says. And what little bee may have grubbed iron, the earth, and picked from the trees, he ate as he went along. Okay, just giving it to you straight. Telling you the translation's not great. I believe Dr. Simeon's was from Italy. So this is an Italian translation, probably put through Google Translate, and it's coming out crazy. All right, so basically, he had 1 meal a day. He cooked meat over the fire and then ate raw nuts and vegetables, berries, whatever he could pick off the tree. All right, I continue. The whole structure of man's omnivorous digestive tract, like that of an ape, rat, or pig, adjusted to the continual nibbling of tidbits. It is not suited to occasional gorging, as is, for instance, the intestine of the carnivorous cat family. All right, so the carnivorous cat family is used to kind of eating bigger meals kind of all the time, but it's saying that our human digestive tract is not suited in such a way. I go back. Thus, the institution of regular meals, particularly of food rendered rapidly, placed a great burden on modern man's ability to cope with large quantities of food suddenly pouring into his system from the intestinal tract. The institution of regular meals meant that man had to eat more than his body required at the moment of eating, so as to tide him over until the next meal. Food rendered easily digestible suddenly flooded his body with nourishment of which he was in no need of at the moment. Somehow, somewhere, this surplus has to be stored. Okay, so telling yourself I have to eat 3 meals a day, I need to eat 3 meals a day, is not how it was back in the caveman time. The caveman left home in the morning, went out and was gone all day hunting, all day. Would eat nuts or berries or whatever he could find to kind of have a nibble here and there if there was stuff he found. Would shoot and kill animal, haul it on his back home again. So yes, it's okay to exercise if you haven't eaten first. Carried it all home, and then the women would prepare it and cook a meal. All right, so they essentially had 1 meal a day, but we're pretty strapping, strong, hardy men. Um, so what he's saying is don't feel like you have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On this diet, according to the protocol, it's 2 meals that they say you're supposed to have, lunch and dinner. We all know that I tend to do 1 meal because when I do 2 meals, I overeat. It's just me and my bad habits. I also don't have a difficult time going without food in the beginning of the day, and once I eat is when I kind of want to continue to eat for the rest of the day. So it works with me and my body to not have the lunch because then I want to eat that dinner meal, and I tend to eat more at the dinner meal and then maybe even snack later in the day if I have that lunch. So I have an early dinner. I mean, my dinner is at like 3-4 o'clock, and then I'm fine for the rest of the day. Also, it just works with my schedule because I work a split shift early in the morning and then in the evening as well. So I will often sleep for a few hours in the morning or maybe even sleep after my meal, and then get up and then work again. And so I have periods of time where I'm asleep. It makes it easy to not eat when you're sleeping. Haha. All right. So there you go. That's the significance of regular meals. Or, as he might say, the lack of significance of needing regular meals. They used to eat when they were hungry. That's it. They would nibble around if they were really hungry, satiate that starvation, and then eat enough food to just get by until the next day. So we can do it too. We can. We've just been trained 3 meals a day is what you need to keep your metabolism going, but we're learning now that's not necessarily true, especially if you follow any of the OMAD stuff. OMAD being OMAD, 1 meal a day. Very, very common, popular diet that's out there now. And ketogenic diet often doesn't go with 3 meals either. I've seen a lot of times ketogenic and OMAD going hand in hand very frequently, or at least 2 meals. So all the popular trends right now are to not have 3 meals a day. And I mean, isn't that life? So it's hard sometimes to go, oh no, 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 but this is what I've always learned. It must be true. No, we know in science that everything is cyclical, or that some of the stuff is not cyclical. It's just some of the stuff that we learned and we thought science was proving in the past is not accurate anymore, in many areas of our life, right? I mean, some of the shock treatments and different things that we did, some of the barbaric medicine procedures that happened on people, thinking that this is what was best for them. Leeches. There's a good example. Putting leeches on you to get rid of disease. I mean, really, didn't work. Didn't work. We know better now. All right, so we're learning as we go along. Do with that what you will. You certainly don't want to be hungry on this diet. If you're somebody, I mean, the protocol said 2 meals a day. The protocol also says if you don't feel like you need to eat both those meals, you don't have to. You're not forced to eat the amount of food that's on the protocol, which is only 500 calories. So, I mean, one would think. But sometimes you just have one of those days that you're just not either feeling well or you just feel, I don't know, maybe even bloated, or just not hungry for whatever reason. Don't force yourself to have the next meal. You don't have to. All right, that's another part of the protocol. But that kind of goes hand in hand, that information, along with what we have read here today off the protocol. And this is the beginning of the protocol that I'm reading right now. All right, so I'll try to be a little more prepared next time with information. I did kind of twist a line or two at the very end there, too, that is just translated poorly. But, all right, there we go. So I don't even know, what day would I say I'm on the diet? So I loaded. So technically I'm on day 5, and I've lost 2.8 pounds. Yeah, that's not great for the beginning of this diet, to be honest with you, but I'm okay with it because I had 3 days of loading, and yeah, so if I did loading, yeah, I really, normally yesterday would have been the first day that I lost and it was 0, but today was 2.8. So I'm okay. I'm in there. I'm in there based on the fact that I ate as many carbs as I did the past couple days. I'm exactly probably where I need to be. So it's working. We're moving along. Hang in there. Any of you new people, I've had a bunch of people this week all of a sudden subscribe. Any one of you who are doing this diet along with me, feel free to leave a post. Let me know how you're doing. Tell me what's successful. If there's something that you learned that was new and informative, and or if not, just thank you for subscribing. I don't know why. It really matters none to me because obviously you can I have what less than 100 people that are watching this. So it's not a monetary thing for me, but it makes me feel good to know if you're going to like a video. If you're going to go through and watch it, then just hit the little heart and then make my day. All right. That's all. I don't know why. You don't have to. All right. But it'd be great if you did. Okay. You have a great day. I'm going to post this now, and I'll see you in a couple days. Not exactly sure when, but the next time one of these openings happens, I'll post another for you. Take care.